and welcome back. Today we have something pretty new. This is the Superbox S5 Max. Yeah, we've reviewed a couple of these guys and it looks like there is another one. So if you're brand new to the channel, consider subscribing. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. And if you guys are interested in this one, shoot me an email. I got very few of these left, so shoot me an email, rohasentertainment@gmail.com. My email is always in the description below in all my videos, and I'll see if I can get you guys all hooked up. So this thing says Gig Ethernet, Wi-Fi 6. Interesting. It's got the 64 gigs of internal storage with 4 gigs of RAM, which is great. It supports 6K. You know how I feel when things say support 6K. It's got OTA. It says H.265 MPEG-4/AVC. So you know I'm going to be looking for that codecs. If it's going to be on the box, it better be in the guts. Yeah, Android 12. Okay. What do we get inside this box? So first thing is you're presented with the device itself, the Superbox. And yeah, this thing is packaged like very, very nicely. So right away you do get your antennas. I like the blue. The blue looks pretty good. It is metal. It does have some breathing room down here at the bottom for the fans. And yeah, here in the back you have your, looks like your optical, Ethernet, HDMI, AV, IR, your DC, that's your power. Restore buttons right there, USB 2.0, 3.0, and your TF card slot right there. Does look like we're going to get some kind of screen right there. So yeah, it looks pretty good so far. I'm actually pretty stoked about that device. Okay, the inside, everything is just like standard packaging. It's all thrown in there. The remote looks a little different than from what I'm used to. It actually looks pretty nice. It doesn't look like your center remote from some of these Chinese boxes. It looks like an upgraded remote. Pretty good. So yeah, I'll let you guys go ahead and see if I can back up a little bit. You got your TV controllers, just basic stuff here, numbers, volume, stuff like that. Looks like a settings and looks like a voice. So interesting. You do have instructions in the back. It says BLE remote pairing guide and programming function instructions. So that'll be on the back of the remote. Now this thing does require 2 AAA batteries, which I feel when you're paying the price tag on this device, you should get batteries, but it doesn't come with any batteries. You do get a pretty good power supply. This actually feels very nice. It doesn't feel budget or cheap. It just feels like a good power supply. And then here is your Ethernet cable. Now I do have a 4K capture card reader, which we know my other devices will read it as at 4K. I'm going to use their cable. Sometimes when I use my cable, it doesn't work. But you know what? Actually, I'll test it with my cable first because I am using an AudioQuest cable, and then I'll also use their cable to be sure it does work. You do get a user guide, and these user guides are pretty like basic. Just plug it in, this is what you should get, and that's it. There's not going to be much reading material. So yeah, no batteries in the box, so make sure you do get yourself some 2 AAA batteries. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in using my cable first, the AudioQuest. Be sure if it could read it. Sometimes these boxes do read it, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, and there we go. It looks like it's powering on. And just to show you guys here, I don't know if you guys can see it. There is a time right there, so it's picking up the time already. All right, let's see how this device looks like. So far, it looks pretty good. Everything works solid. As soon as I plug it in, it just launches off right away. Okay, so you will get a disclaimer. This is normal. Again, I am using my AudioQuest. I think I did mention that, but I just want to be sure I didn't switch anything yet. So you have to hit agree, and then it says you have to connect to your Wi-Fi. So make sure you connect to your Wi-Fi. Okay, once you're done, it's going to say set up screen. So with this, you got to push the up or down button. Now, I got to say with the remote, if I'm not pointing it towards the device, it's not going to work. So yeah, so just make sure you are pointing it towards the device. For me, anytime I see something like this, I like to get a remote. Much better. So okay, so we're gonna hit finish, full screen, and there it is right there. Yeah, it's pretty good. Nothing fancy. So let's go ahead and look at the specs. And we're gonna get IDA 64, so that way we can see exactly what's in here. All right, so I already went ahead and downloaded the APK IDA 64. I know someone's going to ask, how do you do it? Stay tuned for the next video because I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So, okay, here it is. IDA 64. Love this app. This app gives you everything that you need to know of the guts on this device. So this does say it's a Superbox S5 Max is the model. It is using Google. The device is Blue Line. Interesting. 4 gigs of RAM. It's got 54 gigs of total storage that is available to use. So that's pretty good. Out of the 64, that's pretty good that what it has. So it already has some built-in apps. As far as your CPU, it is running a quad-core ARM Cortex A53. It is using the all-winner chip, H313 and H616. Every time I see the AA Cortex A53, I kind of always hope that it's going to be one of the better ones. A53 is good. Personally, I like to see something better. It is pulling 1920 by 1080p. Interesting. So it can read, well, before I even say that, my capture card is reading that this device is pumping out 1080p, not 4K, not 6K, not 2K, not 1080p and a half K, nothing like that. 1920 by 1080p is what it's using, not 4K. So just keep that in mind. It is running a Mali G31. Now, again, I've said it before, and I am using the AudioQuest cable. I'm going to switch the cables real quick, just in case it prefers the other cable. So let me just do that real quick. Okay, so I went ahead and reset the box. So it's relaunching all over again. I am using the cable that came in the box. So I just want to be sure before anybody says anything that says, hey, this is a 4K box. My AudioQuest didn't do it. So let's test their cable to see if it does do it. Okay, so here we go. Superbox, and we're going to come over here to apps again and IDA 64. So first thing is we're going to pull up display, and yeah, right there. 1920 by 1080p is what it's going to read. It's a 1080p box. It's a 1080p. And I know some people are going to say like, dang. So when it comes to your Android, it is running a Mali G31, by the way. It is running Android 12, 31 API level, and the device is rooted. When it comes to codecs, now there is a big difference when it comes to when it's displaying 1080p and when it can read 4K content. And I'm going to explain that in a second here. With your codecs, you do get, it looks like LATM MP4A, and this is C2 Android, OMX Google decoder and encoder. So it looks like you're getting quadruplets, but they are different. You are getting 3 GBP decoder encoders, AMR, WB, your flock, ALA, MLA, MPEG, Opus, RAW, and Vorbis. I don't see anything with DTS surround sound. I don't see anything with that. So it should read with some of these raw codecs. It should be able to read anyway, but personally, I like to see it. It does have for video AVC, HEVC, MPEG-2, MP4 VES, VP8, VP9, AVC, 3 GBP, and it looks like we are going with quadruplets again with your, it does have the all-winner decoders, but you also get your C2 decoder, OMX decoder, and C2 encoder and OMX encoder. And I do see H263, H264, and this is the bottom of the list here. Now the box did say it's got MPEG 4V, I'm sorry, MPEG 4 AVS, MPEG 4 AVS. So I see MPEG 4 VES and MPEG 4. Yeah, they don't have H265. They don't have this specific codecs. MPEG 4 AVC, MPEG-4 AVC. So there is an AVC here, and there is an MPEG-4V, but the one that's displayed on here, yeah, it looks like it's good. AVC does read 265. So yeah, so what this tells me, as we're going through the device here, what this tells me is, if you have, let's say, Disney Plus logged in, and I don't even know if this thing could even do Disney Plus. Yeah, I don't even know if it can read Disney Plus. But anyway, it's probably just going to read the standard app. Just like Netflix, most of these devices just read the standard app, which will give you 720p or 1080p. It just gives you standard. It won't give you that 4K quality content. If you are using a third-party app, and let's just say that one has a 4K file, it's going to be able to read the file, but it's going to be displaying it at 1080p. So I just want to be sure you guys are clear with that. My capture card is a great capture card, and it reads 4K quality perfectly. So that's the difference. It's going to read it as the 4K file coming in, and it's going to display it as a 1080p picture. So just keep that in mind when you guys are doing this stuff. And it's really good to know like what your device is doing. The IDA64 APK is just incredible because it tells you the truth of what this thing is. So keep that in mind when you guys are purchasing this stuff and you guys want it. It looks great. Like, just going through this thing looks amazing. And I'm going to do a whole different video on my other channel, so make sure you guys do follow me on the Rohas tech reviews. I'm going to do a whole video, and I'm going to show you guys how the video does look like. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think I've covered all my bases on this thing, so cool. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I try to get you guys here all the latest and greatest stuff. And yeah, with all that being said, you guys take care of each other. See you guys in the next one.